Hi everyone, it is Coffee Stitcher. This is actually take two because something went weird with the first take. Alright, so I hope everyone had a very nice weekend and very nice start to your week. If you have fun plans for the weekend, that they all come true. I'm actually going to do a little bit of shifting because I'm getting kind of tired. Been a very long week for me. As you can see, I'm sort of back in original Stitchy spot, which is actually my bed. And yes, I am in bed already. Hey, y'all are all technically in bed with me. That's not weird, no. Alright, so, we're gonna do, I finally remembered my tag questions. And then I've got a new start, an update, yay! Yes. So the tag questions, we'll do those first. My first question, I'll put these in the comments. My first question is, what is one designer that you didn't like until you did one of their projects, and then you finally fell in love and figured out what it was all about? What is one designer that no matter what you try, you just can't get in the groove with? And what charts, or if there's a specific type of chart, what kind of a chart would you like to see that hasn't happened yet? And if there is a designer you would like to see do it. My first one is, I really did not get the appeal of Mirabilia and Nora Corbett at all. I was like, oh, they're pretty, but eh. And then the very wonderful Stitch in Time showed me a couple of the Bewitching Pixies. And I thought, I actually do kind of like those. And then I got a gift exchange partner who sent me Anna. And I started working on her, and I completely fell in love. In love. Like, I desperately want to do more now. So, there you go. Designers that I've tried to love that everyone else seems to, I can't get in the groove with Heaven and Earth designs. They're too massive, too many colors, they're overwhelming. All I can do is odd. I can't even. I can only odd. So, there you go. Love me some Mirabilia. Can't get in the groove with, Heaven and Earth. Although I will say I do have one complaint with the Mirabilia, and that's that the Mirabilia website only has the charts under the Mirabilia labeling. The Nora Corbett charts are only on Witchel's website, and that is difficult as hell to navigate. Why can't Nora just have one website with the two different headings? Would be so much easier. Am I the only one that's bothered by this? Bueller? Okay. So thank you, Cassie, for getting me the Anna that I renamed Regina, because I probably never would have picked up a Mirabilia, and I'm absolutely thrilled that I did. Because I'm already plotting, I really want to do Moonflower and Stargazer, and I want to do At the Met and convert her into being a blonde with a red dress so that I can have Carol Channing, because I love Carol Channing. I won't do my impression for her. Maybe I will. I don't know. And then my final question, what is a chart you would like to see? I would really like to see the Frosted Pumpkin. And I know I said I wanted to do an Oz panel. I would actually kind of like to see an entire Oz chart and see how they would tackle the story. Like, as they're stitched along for maybe next year. I don't think they would ever want to actually devote an entire year to just one story. But I think it would be really cool. Or if somebody did a year-long stitch-along and took the 12 biggest parts of the story and put them together. And before anyone suggested I design it, no. I don't want to go there, because the second I start trying to design my own, I'm gonna lose interest. I just know myself well enough to know that. So, those are my 3 questions. and I would love to hear your answers. Alright, so, I guess we'll do the update first. It's still on the Q-Snap, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. But I did the roof to the House of Usher, or at least the top part of it. So it's got the tower and 2 chimneys. And I'd intended to have a little more done, and I may still stitch a little bit after I get done with the video. But when I went to Boyfriend's tonight, because he was going to do some stuff and I was going to have about half an hour of time, I took the project, didn't take the chart. Yeah. So, there you go. Didn't do anything more tonight on it. Still made out the way I like. The roof is giving me a little bit of problems. It's not quite like the moon. But it is a lengthy section of just almost primarily one color. So we'll see. I'm trying to figure out ways of maybe breaking it up into sections and working on sections at a time. Anyhow, so that's where I'm at on the Master and the Macabre. After I finish the roof, my next step is going to be do the top floor window, and then finish out the top floor of the house. So, yeah, should be pretty exciting. This one I'm getting a lot more mojo with, and it's kind of spurring me on. I have a feeling this will probably be my next finish. Yeah. So, next I'll show off the finish. I know I said I was going to finish her by the end of March. Well, last week I just sort of got in the mood to work on her, and then I really got in the mood to work on her, and then I finished her. Ta-da! Regina in all her sparkly glory. The only change aside from the Kreinik, which I think you all knew about, is I did have to move one of the pink beads, because of the big pink beads, because you couldn't see it against the fabric. But this fabric, which is from Mo's sale, was so perfect that I couldn't change it. So, and I actually, if you look, I kind of actually have the room that I might be able to stitch 2 more witches on here. I don't know. Maybe not. And for those who are interested, this is my back. Which, every time I say this is my back, I think about this picture of Bernadette Peters in Sunday in the Park with George, and a friend pointed it out to me and made the joke, so every time in my head I actually think of them. But it's a picture of Bernadette Peters sitting at a vanity, because she's pretending she wants to be in the Follies, and she's doing like this. But the way the publicity photo looks, it looks like she's going, and this is my back. Because, you know, Bernadette has that sort of Cupid doll voice. So yeah, so whenever someone's like, and here's the back of my project, in my head I hear Bernadette Peters go, and this is my back. Yeah, that was my Bernadette Peters impression. I might as well do the Carol Channing impression and just get it all out of the way right now. In fact, I might even talk like Carol Channing for a little bit longer. Isn't that just special? It is, isn't it? So yeah, so Regina is finished. The only thing I think I would do differently is, I really shouldn't be making these videos this late, this is what happens. But the only thing I would do differently is I think I want to try that Wonder Invisible thread that the Chartlish, because I think that might have made my beading a little bit nicer. I tried to DMC color match, and I think in the long run, I would have been happier if I'd done that invisible thread. So there you go. Hello Jolly and all that good stuff. Raspberries. And, of course, because I am back, because I finished something, that meant I could start something instead of finishing another project. Because, of course. So, the next thing I picked up, which, if you're on Instagram and follow me there, you've seen, was Blue Jeans and Daisies from Blue Ribbon Designs, which is by Belinda Carl's Nace. Hi, Belinda. Apparently, Belinda's been following me on here, and she's now following me on Instagram, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if I told you this, but when I first started going to my local needle workshop, this hangs almost directly above the cash register. So it's really, really prominent. And I always looked at it going, gosh, that's pretty. God, that's pretty. That is really pretty. And when I first started, I was only like, I only really like working on Halloween things. And I've really started to branch out from there. And I have just eyeballed the hell out of that one. They didn't have the chart in. Well, finally the charts came in, so I bought them. And I looked at it and saw it needed like 24 skeins of weeks dyed works. And I went, oh, I don't think I can afford that. So I looked at it and I thought, well, I could do a mix. And then I thought, no, we'll just do DMC. So, I'm sorry, Belinda, I know it's heartbreaking, possibly. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're not that attached to doing the weeks. But I am doing mine with DMC, and I feel slightly guilty about that. But financially, I wanted to really do the chart, but I couldn't afford the weeks. So, I'm doing it in DMC. Which is fine, because it's still turning out gorgeous so far. Anyhow, so I got it, and I did get the blue jeans fabric. So, and I bought them all at once. So there we go. So I started on it last night, and part of why, there were a couple of reasons why I picked this one up. One, I already had the fabric and the floss. So that kind of helped. It was kitted up. And for another, it's got lots of little motifs and small little sections so that can be completed. I did the section that I finished last night in about 5, maybe 6 hours. So I started it after dinner. I was done by 11. So maybe even been 4 hours. No, granted, I am a relatively fast stitcher, so comparatively speaking, it may take longer, but for real, I took about 4 hours. And so I like it because it's a good in-between project. So when I've been working really hard on something and I need something that I can feel like I've accomplished something, it'll be a good one for that. Because I can do it 1 or 2 pieces over 1 or 2 days and then go back to what I was working on. So it's a good breather project. Because it's relatively simple and absolutely gorgeous. So the first part I worked on was the upper left corner, which is 2 bluebirds on a birdhouse. And actually, I did goof. There's supposed to be 1 more stitch of lilac. I didn't catch it, and I thought about trying to pull it out, and I just didn't. And honestly, it looks okay. It's not like I randomly screwed up something else. But I didn't discover it until it was too late to try and undo. So I'm absolutely loving this. The other reason, I forgot to tell you, the other reason I went ahead and decided to do it, when I first, I've talked about it periodically with A Stitch in Time and Kemi and a couple other people, and Stitch in Time said, oh my gosh, I just had an epiphany. When you work on it, you should call it Whipsy Daisies. So that's part of why I started it, was to call it Whipsy Daisies. And I've got an Instagram hashtag for it now, actually. So I'm literally in love, not only with this chart, but with calling it Whipsy Daisies. That may just be its new title for me forever. And I'm absolutely loving Blue Jeans and Daisies. And if you've never bought one of Belinda's charts, at least from the 2 I've got, they're so easy to read. And she gives you an individual page for any specialty stitches. Almost all of hers seem to have multiple, like, little fun finishing ideas for scissor fobs and needle books. So she gives the instructions on how to do that. I don't know what that noise was. And then she gives you the charts, and the charts are pretty well blown up, and I don't want to show too much of that because I don't want to accidentally ask them to copy it. But what's really cool, and unfortunately I don't have it up here with me, is she'll give you blow-ups of small sections and give you alternates. So if, say, you've got, like, I've got Afraid of the Dark. It has a couple of sections that can be done 1/1 in petite point. But if you don't want to do it, she gives you an alternative so you can do the regular charting. And they're just so easy to read and so fantastic. So just from a presentation standpoint alone, these are phenomenal. And then they're a lot of fun to stitch. Like I said, I have Afraid of the Dark. I don't have a fabric for it yet. I don't know if it's going to be big enough. I did order one from Silk Weavers, one of the flash sales, which is still not here yet. And I definitely got that. I want to say that was a Sunday, like 2 or 3 Sundays ago. And it was a Thursday. So last time I had Thursday off, so it was not last week, but week before last. Got my invoice Friday, paid it immediately. And yeah, they've created a shipping label. It has not shipped. I don't know if this is how they always go. If so, I would, I've heard from other people that they can take this long, but this really seems long, especially because I didn't need it custom dyed. It was a flash sale. It was a piece that was already cut and dyed. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to really throw that. And I keep getting emails about other sales they're doing. I'm just thinking, I don't know. So if I ever do get this one, it looks like it should actually probably be pretty awesome for Afraid of the Dark or a Mirabilia. I don't know yet because I haven't gotten it. Anyhow, I'm not bitter. No, not at all. Wow, I really shouldn't make these this late. I get really snarky. Anyhow, so there we go. So I finished Regina. I'm working away on Poe and on Blue Jeans and Daisies. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work a little bit more on Poe, obviously. I've still got a while on this first page of my fairy tale, and so I may not do too much on that. I know I will be at probably Thursday or Friday next week. I've got to stitch up the frame for the next Frosted Pumpkin. But I'm waiting to see what the clue is and what the hint is, because I'm trying to match the colors. So, we'll see. We should be getting some sort of information soon. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I've been doing a lot of Stitchy Spot reorganization. So that should also be in the next video. Anyhow, I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see y'all soon.